Good morning students. Hope you are all well at home. I'll be teaching English for class 4. Today we'll begin with the first lesson, Visitors at Duliatal, adapted from Tinku at Duliatal by Swapna Datta. Now Swapna Datta is a writer. She writes children's books. Before we move on, I would like you all to have your English reader in front of you. So let's begin. I'm sure you have all read the lesson by now. All 4 classes, students of all 4 classes must have read the lesson by now. Now you have all heard the words vacations, holidays, and I'm sure many of you must be going for vacation. This time no, but yes. This is a story about a little girl named Tinku, her family and her 2 aunts who are coming to stay for a short while with her. So Tinku is very excited. Now Tinku was greatly excited. 2 of her aunts, Moni Mashi and Nutu Pishi, were coming to Duliatal for a visit. Now Moni is the name of her aunt, Mashi means aunt, Nutu is the name again, and Pishi means aunt. Now these 2 words, Mashi and Pishi, means aunt. One is the mother's sister and one is the father's sister. Now Moni Mashi taught in a school in Calcutta. Now both were teachers. Both the aunts were teachers. Now they taught in Calcutta. Now what is you might have not heard some of you must be knowing Calcutta, but today Calcutta is called Kolkata. Now this name Calcutta was there during the British. When the British ruled India, it was called Calcutta. Today it is called Kolkata. Similarly, there are other names also which are changed, like now Bangalore was earlier Bangalore, Chennai was earlier Madras, and so on. Now both these aunts now lived somewhere in the suburbs. What's the meaning of suburbs? Suburbs is somewhere, a place which is outside the city. A city, a city is very noisy and there's lots of things happening in a city. But the suburbs are a little more quiet. Now these 2 aunts lived in the suburbs. Now Tinku and the mother were wondering, especially Tinku was wondering, this is the first time they were coming to Duliatal. Now Duliatal is a very hilly area. It's all hills, it's beautiful, it rains almost throughout the year, and so there's a lot of greenery around. So they were wondering whether they would like this place, since they were coming from the suburbs to a hilly area, completely different. So they were wondering whether they would like it. What will they think of Duliatal? Asked Tinku. They'll love it, won't they? I hope so, said Tinku's mother. I only hope it doesn't rain when they arrive. So she says, I only hope it doesn't rain. Why not? Asked Tinku, surprised. It's lovely when it rains. All the little streams become rivers where we can sail boats. So Tinku says, it's lovely when it rains. And I'm sure you will agree with Tinku, because now very soon the rains will come and you all love the rains, right? You love to play in the rains, you love to jump in the puddles, you love to go out with your umbrellas, with your raincoats. Sometimes maybe you get a new raincoat. And the rainy season has its own charm and we all love the rains. Of course, when it continues raining for too long, then you don't like it. But initially the rains are good. And Tinku did not like this place earlier, and she did not like the rains earlier. So the mother was quite surprised, and she said, Tinku's mother laughed. You used to hate the rains too, she said. Oh, that was very long ago, said Tinku. I'm used to Duliatal now, and it's a lovely place. As it happened, there was a very heavy downpour. Now what's a heavy downpour? Very heavy rainfall on the day that the aunts were coming. And Tinku's mother was not so happy because she knows everyone does not like the rain. It's time to go to the bus stand, said Tinku's father, peering at the wall clock. What's the meaning of peering? Peering means looking closely at the wall clock. Where are the raincoats and umbrellas? Let's take a couple of extra shawls as well. It's kind of shivery. So he says, come on, bring the raincoats and the umbrellas, and let's take an extra pair of shawls because it's going to be quite cold. Now what happens? In the hilly regions, it's always a little cooler compared to the plains. Understood? Plains are lower down, hills are higher up. So when it is higher, it is cooler. So they say, father says, let's take some extra shawls because they may be feeling cold, they may shiver with the cold. Could I come to the bus stand with you? Tinku asked her father. Now Tinku also wanted to come to the bus stand. She was all super excited because her aunts were coming to stay with her. Yes, but wear your raincoat and don't forget your gumboots, he said. Yes, he said, very well, you can come, but wear your gumboots and your raincoat. Rain continued to pour down when the half-filled bus from Katkodam arrived at the bus stand. Tinku jumped up and down eagerly. She was very fond of both her aunts. When she was very fond of both her aunts, she loved them dearly. Let's find out why. Monimashi told her the most enchanting stories. What's the meaning of enchanting? Enchanting means attractive and pleasing, very enjoyable stories. And Muthupishi was great fun to be with and quite a good photographer. So she was a photographer and probably she would play with Tinku, and Tinku must have loved her for all her liveliness. But they did not seem to be among the passengers, so they could not see them among the passengers. It was a little dark though. Nutumoni, called out Tinku's father in a loud voice. Are you there? Hurry up and get down. The bus will leave in a minute. So he says, come on, hurry up and get down because the bus will leave in a minute. Two huddled figures, almost buried under cardigans, overcoats and shawls, crawled out of the bus. Now what are cardigans? Cardigans are woolen clothes. What are overcoats? Overcoats are also woolen but long coats. So two of them quietly crawled out of the bus. What monstrous weather, said Monimashi in a feeble voice. So she said, what monsters? What do you mean you're monsters? Monsters mean bad, unpleasant. As I told you, they were worried that these people would not like the place because of the weather, and right now the first thing she said was, what monstrous weather. It's freezing, said Muthupishi. Really, Dada? I don't know why you asked us here at this time of the year. First of all, the meaning of Dada. Dada means elder brother. In Bengali, in West Bengal, they say Dada for elder brother. So she said, why did you invite us this time of the year? It always rains in the hills. You'll soon get used to it. Everyone does, said Tinku's father, taking the bags from their hands. So he said, don't worry, it rains here, always it rains, and everyone slowly gets used to it. Then Monimashi suddenly caught sight of Tinku and she said, Tinku, why did you come out in this rain? And where's the taxi? Muthupishi looking around. Tinku burst out laughing. We can't go to our house by taxi, Muthupishi. The path's too narrow. Now this was another thing. As I told you, this was a very hilly region. So there were just the main road, and the roads leading to the houses were narrow paths. So there was no Pakka road where they could take a cab or they could take a taxi or they could take a rickshaw, nothing, no vehicles at all. They had to walk. Now that was another thing. I'm afraid you'll have to walk, said Tinku's father. So Tinku's father said, I'm afraid you'll have to walk. It's not far. Here, get into these raincoats and take these umbrellas. So he said, don't worry, it's not far. We'll reach soon. Walk all the way to the house, cried Muthupishi. Now she said, oh my God, we have to walk all the way to the house. And I don't see any roads, said Monimashi. Monimashi said, I can't see any road. Where are we walking? There it is, said Tinku, pointing to the narrow track leading down to their house. So she said, there it is, she said. And it was a very narrow path leading to their house. Monimashi said, I can't go down that path. It's so narrow and there's such a steep drop on the other side. She said, I can't go that path. It's so narrow and there's such a sharp slope down. I'm frightened. She must have been frightened. I think anyone would be going for the first time. There is not even a railing. So you know what is a railing, right? Some metal rod there. So she says, there's not even a railing to hold. So how am I going to walk? Don't be frightened, said Tinku's father. Here, hold my hand. So Tinku's father held one aunt's hand and Tinku held the other aunt's hand. And she said, don't worry, you won't fall down. It seemed like a never-ending journey to Tinku. Now why did it seem like a never-ending journey? It seemed like a never-ending journey because they were walking very, very slow. Because they were so scared that they were walking very slow. Both her aunts were so scared of the narrow path that they took ages to cover the short distance. Thank God we have reached home. said Moni Mashi with a shudder as they neared the gate. So finally when they reached the gate, she was very happy. And she said, I am not stepping out of the house until I leave to go back home. So she was so, upset with the whole thing of walking in this, on a narrow path and the rains and the darkness around. And she said, I'm not leaving the house. And then Nithupishi added saying that I don't know, I think I want to either. There's nothing to see except dripping trees and dark bushes. What's the meaning of dripping trees? It's been raining, so drip, 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 the water is falling down the trees. I don't think we'll get to see the snow range at all. Now they must have expected to see the snow range. Why? Because they were in the hills, and from there they could see the snow-capped mountains. Normally when it is a sunny, bright, sunny day, you can see the snow-capped mountains. But she says, I don't think we'll even be able to see the snow-capped range. Oh yes, you will when it is bright and sunny, said Tinku. So Tinku said, don't worry, you will. When it is bright and sunny, you will be able to see the snow-capped mountains. Here we are, said Tinku's father, opening the gate. So then finally they reached the main gate, and Tinku's father said, come on, let's go in. And her mother, whose mother? Tinku's mother, was already at the door to welcome them. So she stayed back, since Tinku and Tinku's father went to collect them. The mother stayed back ready to welcome them home. Soon after they had, so she served them tea, and soon after they had tea, both of them, both the aunts, dived under the quills. What are quills? Quills are warm, thick covers for a bed. So they dived under those because it was very cold, with a hot water bottle. Now what is a hot water bottle? A hot water bottle is used under the quills. They carry it so that it gives them warmth. In all these cold regions in the north, they use the hot water bottle. Now they slept well, and the next morning when they woke up, they opened their eyes, and what did they see? It was a beautiful scenery. The whole place was filled with sunlight. The sloping garden was full of colors. Why was it full of colors? Because there were different flowers growing, so they could see different colors. The snow range beyond the garden shone golden in the sun. The dark hills in the distance had silver trickles falling down into the green plains below. Now what are silver trickles? Silver trickles are the waterfalls in the mountains, which from a distance look like streams of water, and they look like trickles. So now this, what they saw, was created such a beautiful image in their minds. And it also makes you feel good. When you see something beautiful, when you see beautiful nature, it makes you not only enjoy visually, but it also makes you feel very, very good. So they really felt nice the next morning. Oh, how beautiful, cried Moni Mashi and Nithupishi together. I told you so, said Tinku, joining in the laughter that followed. So later on, they were all laughing and happy because now they saw the beauty of this place, and they had already forgotten the previous night. Now children, at home you can go through these questions. They are very easy questions and you can answer them. Also complete the sentences. Now the questions are, there are 5 questions. They're just one-line answers, so just answer very briefly. And also completing the sentences, everything is related to the lesson. So you got to read the lesson maybe once, twice, thrice, and you can answer these sentences in your own words. So that's all that you can do. And then later on maybe I will explain the other textual exercises that are there, which can be done at home. Hope you enjoyed this lesson, children. Read it and stay home and stay safe. Thank you.